Hey everyone, welcome back to our Lifestyle Skills Academy channel, where we share life-changing behavioral insights. Today we have a special treat for you all. We're thrilled to introduce you to Barbara O'Neill, a renowned health expert who will be sharing her insights on a subject titled, What Cancer Hates. She discussed how day-to-day health practices influences one's overall health and well-being. Barbara O'Neill is a certified nutritionist, and with extensive experience and knowledge, she's dedicated her life to helping others achieve their health goals and experience their best lives. In this lecture, Barbara will be discussing the importance of a balanced diet, regular exercise, and mindfulness practices in maintaining overall health. She'll also be sharing her top tips for staying motivated and consistent in your health journey. So if you're looking to improve your health or simply want to learn more about it, this lecture is a must-watch. Thank you for tuning in, and don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel for more informative and inspiring content. Until next time, stay
there's
healthy.
an oncologist who unfortunately is in jail today on a case of manslaughter. Some of my critics claim that I am quoting a disgraced oncologist. He is not disgraced in my eyes. What happened was he injected sodium bicarbonate into a patient and they died. My husband says if only he'd injected chemotherapy, he would not be up on a case of manslaughter. Was the man about to die anyway? His name is Dr. Tullio Simoncini. He's an Italian oncologist. He was getting a 90% success rate with cancer. And his book is called Cancer is a Fungus. And also Professor Constantini, he was former head of the World Health Organization Department of Mycology. Mycology is the study of fungus. And he also found that with every case of cancer, when he tested them for fungus, they always tested positive to fungus in the body. But remember, it's just an opportunist organism. It's there for a reason. There are many, many causes of cancer. And I think most people realise that the number one cause of lung cancer is smoking. Over many, many years, the cigarette smoke has damaged the lungs. The opportunist organisms come along and start to clean up the damage. And in every case, it can be different. That's why no two cases are the same. I have many books in my library at home, and I have quite a few books on scientists, professors, doctors, nutritionists, naturopaths who are having success with conquering cancer. So I'm always intrigued, why? What do they do? And there are many different modalities people use, but I looked for three common denominators. So I'd like to show you those three common denominators. So we're going to look at it like this. Cancer loves. In other words, if cancer is given these conditions, it thrives. It loves glucose. In fact, cancer cells consume 15 times the glucose of any other cell. Cancer also loves an environment where there's no oxygen. Cancer thrives in an acid environment. On the other hand, let's make a list of what cancer hates. And if cancer hates this is what we want to give to the body. Cancer hates no glucose. And cancer hates oxygen. The fact is, cancer cannot live in the presence of oxygen. And cancer hates an alkaline environment. So what we aim for at our retreat is creating an environment that is very low glucose, is optimum amounts of oxygen, and creating an alkaline environment at the cellular level. And so what we aim to do when we're giving the body a condition where cancer cannot survive, we look at starving the cancer. And when you have a look at many cancers have a fungal component, what does fungus love? Glucose. So the glucose goes into the cell, and when it gets into the cell, it goes through a 20-step pathway. These are 20 little chemical reactions, and that gives us 2 units of energy. Now this 20-step pathway is a pathway that does not use oxygen. It creates energy by the process of fermentation. The end result of this 20-step pathway is a chemical form of glucose called pyruvate. And pyruvate, as the chemical form of glucose, gets fed into the 8-step pathway. This 8-step pathway is called the powerhouse of the cell because this 8-step pathway delivers 36 units of energy. So how come a 20-step pathway only gives 2 units of energy? How come an 8-step pathway gives 36 units of energy? The difference is oxygen. Now this pathway here, this 20-step pathway is very fast. It's a very fast pathway to the point that it's consuming 15 times the glucose. This pathway is a slow pathway. So you can see cancer loves no oxygen, cancer loves 15 times the glucose. This is where cancer loves to thrive. This is called the glycolytic pathway in the cell. This is the mitochondria, specifically the Krebs cycle in the cell. Now, a normal cell will just pass through here, but the cancer cell's consuming huge amounts and often is just running up there. And most people with cancer, you ask what their energy levels are like, consuming huge amounts and often is just running up there. And most people with cancer, you ask what their energy levels are like. Very low energy. You see, it's only giving 2 units of energy compared to 36 units of energy. We have 25 trillion red blood cells, and the red blood cells carry the oxygen, the red blood cells carry the nutrients, the red blood cells carry the water, and the red blood cells carry away the waste. So that's 25 trillion. So the 75 trillion other cells all have this energy cycle in them, whether it be a muscle cell, a skin cell, a heart cell, any cell in the body. So what we want to do is we want to starve those cancer cells. When you consider that cancer cells consume 15 times the glucose, we aim for a diet that is very low glucose. So what would that diet be? It would be high vegetable. Vegetables are high in fibre, they're high in minerals and low in sugars. So what we suggest is no fruit for 6 weeks. You see, fruit is high in fibre, high in sugars, low in minerals. And a lady said to me, "But Barbara, God made fruit good." I said, "That's right. He made fruit very good. Fruit is delicious. But if someone has a certain condition in their body, they need to do some adjustments until they conquer that condition, and then they can ease back on the fruit." One writer, he explained it like this: having no fruit for 6 weeks, it's like having a sledgehammer effect on cancer. Because it consumes glucose so fast, when you eat a food program that's very low in glucose, Dr. Holland in the book, The Germ That Causes Cancer, he said when you deprive cancer cells of glucose, they self-destruct. See, we live in a body that can heal itself. We just need to give it the right conditions. So it's important to understand why we keep the fruit away for 6 weeks. So high vegetable, generous proteins. So what are the generous proteins? Legumes, nuts and seeds. They're the cleanest burning fuels.